How has the times of inflation and the pandemic changed your business? I'll talk about how it's changed. What's going on, YouTube? Micah Willon Dude here. I'll go ahead and throw the disclaimer out. Every business and every area is different. I'm going to sit here and talk about my 2 cents worth on how my business has been impacted by not only the pandemic, but inflated costs. This is me being 110%. And it's tough for me to do that, but I did say that when it came to YouTube and my videos, they weren't going to be all about grabbing attention. They were going to actually be how it is, the ins and outs of this business, the things that weren't told to me when I was actually starting out. There's a lot that people did not tell me that I had to learn the hard way. Now, I already talked about how in the past, always try to get your numbers right. Always try to make sure all your paperwork is right. Because in the past, I did deal with a situation where IRS did an audit for 2 years for us, and we ended up owing a little over $20,000. And this was some years back, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. So now I'm going to talk about how the recession, I use that term loosely, honestly, just inflated costs alone. How inflated costs alone in the pandemic has affected my business. Now, for our company, when it came to the pandemic, and I'm sure a lot of people could attest to this, because more people were at home and looking at their lawns and seeing stuff they weren't happy with. We actually increased business. A lot of people were calling us in for projects for their yards. So that is the difference, I would say, between that and the inflated cost. Now, when it came to inflated cost, which we're still going through right now, I learned a lot, and I'm still, right now, this second, learning a lot. I did raise my prices, which was something that I've never really been that good at. When I joined business, when I decided to become a full-time business owner, my main thing was to be the guy that can help people out and not be the guy that's always trying to basically abuse people's prices and overcharge them for jobs. But one thing I learned quickly is that you're not going to survive in this business by not raising your prices. So this year I did raise my prices up. I went up by a percentage. That percentage wasn't enough at all. So, I mean, at first it was, and then when gas prices started hitting around 5, and considering that all my trucks take premium because they all have Hemis, and I put plus gas in all of my equipment, my gas bills were higher than, my gas bills doubled where they were the year before when we actually sat down and looked at it. My wife and I looked at the numbers like going into June, and we were just like, yeah, there's no way. So for the first time in history, I had to actually raise everyone's prices in the middle of the season. Now, I've never done that before, but I actually explained this to all the clients. I shot an email out to everyone. Those who still get invoices by door hanger, I actually printed out a letter for them to read, and I didn't have anyone upset with that. But basically what ended up happening was the percentage I just went up plus the percentage at the beginning of the year is the percentage I should have just went with from the get-go. But to be honest with you, hindsight is 2020. People probably wouldn't have taken it as well had I just thrown the whole entire increase at the beginning of the year. But either which way, for our business, I definitely realized that even though I did raise pricing, it just wasn't enough to keep us afloat throughout these tough times, because I am a company that has fuel to pay for, and just regular expenses to keep us running. So it's important to make sure your prices are right. So anybody that's undercharging, I'm gonna tell you right now, anybody that's like still new, still green in this business, you still sign up clients, make sure you have a minimum charge to drop your gate. Like, it's not being a jerk. It's actually knowing your numbers and knowing what your minimum charge should be. I know for me, I do have a set amount that I will not go lower than. I don't care if it's a townhome. See, originally, last year, I took the plunge. I said for years, I'm going to drop my townhome division. And I had like 15, 20 townhomes. So I'm going to drop my townhomes, but they take longer for us to service than it does to service a single family. And the funny thing is, we're using trimmers most of the time on townhomes, but it's like, especially if they're a middle unit, you're jumping out the truck, having to walk all the way around the house. Either way, that's another video for another day. So I dropped the townhome division, minus the ones who I already service, who aren't a pain, and people that really just needed us to continue to take care of them. So we still have a couple townhomes. But this year I kind of changed that strategy. If a townhome contacts us and is willing to pay the minimum charge, no problem. We'll go ahead and take care of it. And we do have some that have called us that are willing to pay the minimum charge, which it's hard to believe. Like, it's hard to believe that people are willing to pay that much for a townhome. But I'll put it to you like this. Our minimum gate fee is somewhere in the range of $45 to $60. It's somewhere in that range. That's our minimum drop gate fee. Me personally, for a townhouse, I am surprised that there are some that are willing to pay that. But I actually had to figure out that price, man. What is the minimum price? Because if I'm doing anything for under my minimum, I basically wasted our time and I wasted our money. And that's something I had to learn. It costs more to fill up the truck. It costs more to pay for my guy for the day. It's just cost that I wasn't thinking of. So make sure you have a minimum charge and you stick with it. Because what happens is you become where I'm at right now. I mean, we're not massive. We have 75 clients total. It's actually 68 or 69 residential, and we have 6 or 7 that are commercial. And so I do have clients in there that still kind of grandfather in below that minimum price, and these are great clients, but it's like a handful maybe. The rest of them I've gotten above that minimum price. And then it's the other half that I also learned that you got to keep weekly. Like, and there's a lot of people on there that don't want to stay weekly even when their grass is growing up uncontrollably, because you cost yourself more money, more gas, more fuel. So I did learn that I got to take a second look at my business. That's basically how I'm summing all this up. Rebuild is kind of drastic of a term, but that's basically what I'm doing. I'm redoing everything when it comes to this business. The numbers, the sales process. I'm trying to get it to where I finally put a sales sheet down, which for me, that's huge, because usually I just look at a property on Google Earth or in person and I rattle off a price. Now I have a sheet so that, my wife gets the call at the house for a new estimate, or we get an email that I can forward to her, or anything of that way, shape, or form. She can go ahead and make this sale for us without having to check with me, which I've had everything kind of ran through me in this business, and that needs to change. As far as the field part, that's going to be a little easier said than done, considering I don't have anyone else other than me that can go out right now to take care of services. But it's okay. That will work itself out down the road here. But I am definitely considering everything. I've even considered, getting this down and, I have a good guy who works with me, and I definitely like having him out there with me, but there have been times I've even told him that, I've considered just doing this with just me and just kind of redoing everything as far as this company. Sometimes I feel like for the success of the company, that's one thing I need to strongly consider. But it's a lot that I'm going to be redoing. If I have equipment, even though I love my equipment, that's sitting around that's not really making money like that, I need to either find a way for it to make money or sell it. And that's some long, hard looks I'm looking at. I have a dump insert on my pickup truck right now that I'm considering whether it's worth me keeping or not, since I do have the dump trailer. It's just taking a strong look at my business, and that's me being 110% with everyone right now. I'm taking stronger looks at my company and seeing what actually needs to be done. But we shall see. I'm going to keep working on things. Another thing I need to delegate down the road here is my books and taxes. I am not the best person to be doing the books for this business, but that's how it's been since I've been in business. And that's something I need to change. I kind of dread that, having to go to a bookkeeper, because that's going to be a whole lot of fun. They're probably going to tell me a whole lot of what I shouldn't be doing. Which I can already kind of figure that one out. So I said I need to kind of redo how I do a lot of things with the company, just so that overall have us become more successful and where I would like us to be one day. I like it to be at the point where I can step away for a week or two and take the family on a vacation. And I'm nowhere near at that spot right now, because the business doesn't run if I'm not here, if I'm not out here. And that's definitely something I'm looking to change in the future. But until then, I'll be working on some new systems I'm going to set in place for this business. Alright, y'all take it easy. Let me know how this has affected you guys.